video contains spoilers for Dogs in Space Season 1. If you care about that, I suggest that you click off the video. Thank you and enjoy.
Dogs in Space. I remember first learning about this series when I first saw it on Kimiko Glenn's IMDb page, where it said that she was going to be voicing one of the main characters in the show. And not knowing that show was going to be on Netflix, I thought to myself, okay, I moved on with my life. I didn't think that the show was going to be anything special, just a cute little episodic series where these dogs go on funny little space adventures with not much emotional weight behind it. And so I looked the series out of my memory, and for a while, everything was pretty chill. And then Netflix released the trailer on the Future channel, and I was all just like, whoa! When I first saw that video appear on my feed and started watching it, I was confused out the wazoo. There's no way that this is the same show I saw on that blank IMDb page I found through Kimiko's pet.
We have no idea.
It's the same show! And the most insane part is, the trailer was really good. It was fun and exciting, and the fact that it uses footage from like all of the episodes from the first season without spoiling too much is an insane feat. Watching this made me realize that this show was basically Guardians of the Galaxy, but with dogs. And I was all into it. When that trailer finished and the release date was shown, I instantly knew that I needed to watch this series immediately when it came out on Netflix. And I watched it. 3 days late from the premiere. But no need to worry about that, because I have finished watching the entire first season. And it was great. A normal person would think that a show about dogs going to space would make for some basic episodic kids show similar to what I thought it would have been when looking at its IMDb page. But wait a minute, I'm not normal, nor am I a person. Believe me when I say this show is awesome. The characters are not only cute and funny, but also has a surprising amount of emotional depth, which makes them believable. Well, as believable as you can make walking, talking dogs with opposable thumbs. The comedy, while not being perfect, absolutely slaps at some moments. And overall, the show has some really surprising moments of heartwarming emotion and horrifying nightmare fuel. Trust me, I know what I'm saying. I recommend that you go on Netflix and watch this series right now because of 2 reasons. 1, despite watching the show 3 days late from the premiere, there is absolutely no one talking about the show other than Twitter. Flipping Twitter. Tumblr? Nothing. Oh wait, never mind. YouTube? Nothing. Reddit? Significantly bigger than I last saw it. In fact, all of these websites now have more dogs in space content than it previously did. But still, as someone who is fans of shows like Mau Mau and Santa World, I can confidently say that this is the smallest cartoon fan base I have ever seen. There's not even a fan fiction of the show. No, fan fiction. Come on, people, why are you all so scared of writing yourself some good old Ongstead dugongs? Oh, never mind. You already did that. Not the dogongs part, just the fanfiction part. All you better get on that, dogongs part, though. I literally have no idea what that section was going. And secondly, like the beginning of the video said, I'm going to be spoiling the entire first season for you, haha! More specifically, I'm going to go through the entire season from top to bottom and review each episode as its own thing and how it contributes to the show's story. All while hopefully not making this video an hour long. This is the format I'll use when I'm talking about a more story-driven cartoon like Dogs in Space. I'll go through the season episode by episode, review each one, and once I have completed 10 episodes, or more, it depends on how many episodes a season has, I'll sum up my thoughts on either the season so far, or the season as a whole. This is the format I'll use when I eventually talk about Centaur World, and my beloved Mau Mau, Heroes of Pure Heart. Sound fun? Then get in, loser! We're going to space!
rules are there to ensure every dog has its day, as in, literally survives for the day.
And what better way to start off the series than with a bang! Based on a true future story. A genetically enhanced dog is trying to convince a bunch of aliens to let humanity migrate here because they destroyed their old planet due to air pollution. And you thought the storming of the Capitol building was insane. This is where we are introduced to Captain Garbage, a dog who has a very fitting name because... Hey, Garbage up being captain! But you may be wondering, what's Captain Garbage captain of? Well, he's captain of the Pluto, which is home to the following crew. Stella, who is a girl boss. Tronies, who is both a smart fella and a fart smeller. Nomi, who is an adorable fluffy ball of destruction. And Ed, who is a kleptomaniac. But unlike Glendale, who is both klepto and adorable, Ed is both klepto and an asshole.
What's it worth to you?
Ed, your friend is about to be eaten by a bunch of megalomaniac aliens. Help him. I really like this scene. It introduces us to the main characters and their weird quirks and personalities expertly for this action scene. Whether it's Kamiko Dog's blaze of destruction, Choni's working on the gate, establishing that he's Mort, or Ed, who had the bright idea of stealing an alien artifact and calling it loot. Yep, good on you, buddy. Our main characters are well established, which will help you care about them as you follow them through their and with a little help from some tomato sauce, they escape themselves some aliens. Welp, let's never do that again. We then get a scene about Garbage's owner, who I don't remember the name of.
Chelsea, it's me, Garbage.
Oh. Why, thank you. Garbage! The scene has Garbage record a message for his owner, Chelsea, about the new planet they just rolled out and how he hopes that she's getting his messages because this is something that Garbage has been doing for a while now, keeping his owner up to date on what he and his crew have been doing throughout their space adventures on these recorded messages, even though that she might not be getting them. And when I first watched this scene, I thought it was just a cute little scene that showed you how much Garbage loved his owner and sets up his motivation for what he does throughout the season. But when I listened closer during a rewatch, I noticed some lines that might have foreshadowed the main conflict that the season focuses on and deals with. If you have no idea what that conflict is, what are you doing? I already said I was going to spoil the entire season at the beginning of the video, so stop watching this immediately and instead go watch Dogs in Space on Netflix before I spoil everything for you! Oh yeah, this scene also has one of the best jokes in the series.
No, Mita Captain. Just seen something through the windshield we need you to take a look at. Over. No, Mita Captain. Question, is it technically a windshield if we're in space? There isn't any wind. Over. No, Mita Captain. We're having an argument about the windshield thing, and I...
Of course it's a windshield.
It shields us
just
from
what they're called.
outer space.
Yeah, we really need your input.
Hilarious. Although it does have some points taken off for this line.
Garbage to crew, just hold on a minute for the love of belly rubs!
Haha, get it? 'Cause dogs love belly rubs? And Garbage is a dog? Wow, thanks so much, Garbage. I'm laughing my butt off. Garbage then hops on down to the deck, and then we see a new planet.
It looks perfect.
Could this be the one? The planet that's inhabitable for all of humanity? Including Chelsea, my beloved? Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's head on down there to see if it's inhabited. Oh no, we cannot get there because we're low on fuel. Guess we gotta turn back for some fuel. But don't worry, we'll return for a vital object. After a beautiful show of animation, which made me consider if the animation was this beautiful all along and I was just ignoring it like I do with any show that isn't Mau Mau, we then return to the Mbak, which is a giant tennis ball. The crew of the Pluto then
My ship!
land normally, and then we're introduced to Happy. And I just got to say, I might take back on what I said about Ed being an asshole, because this guy is so narcissistic and snobby that he made me want to commit.
Captain, you're alive!
Oh, I forgot about him. Everybody meet Loaf, the Pluto's navigator, and he is...
just a circle.
You're running in a circle. I'm sorry. Just run away from the aliens.
Yeah, that explains everything. He has come with news. News that a special group known as the Council has called Garbage over for a meeting. So let's see what's up.
Come along, former Captain Kart. Oh, silly. Getting ahead of myself.
Whatever, Happy. All you got were a bunch of coordinates for a bunch of other planets and gift bags. Not like you actually found a planet that actual people can live on.
Random security pat-down. Gotta check you for alien parasites.
Hang on a second. Why does that big dog look and sound so familiar?
More like I'm trying to convince you to take a shower. Garbage by name, garbage by stink.
I don't know. Something about his voice combined with his character design reminds me of something. I just can't put my wing on
I'm
it.
not lonely. I'm just alone.
Jake? What did you wish for? Okay, so Garbage has a track record of failed missions, including the one that we were just on. But also includes Dark Souls boss, Zelda dungeon, We're Sinking, and... I don't even want to know. And since he has been so consistent with these failures, the council has decided that he and his crew will be temporarily suspended from duty. Aww. Don't cry, Garbage. Your crew will only be suspended for a temporary amount of— What the heck are in those bags?
And remember, you're good dogs.
You see that? That right there? Keep it in your mind hole, because it's going to be important later. So Garbage tells the crew that they've been temporarily suspended. But before the crew can let their emotionally sink in, Garbage has already come up with a plan to help them get unsuspended. Which is to go back to that mysterious planet that they saw earlier when they were on low batteries and see if it's actually inhabitable.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay, sure. I mean, I get it. Garbage is kinda like Mama the more you think about it, as both want to impress their parental figures, whether they're actually their parents or not, by doing this ultra cool thing, and has a big ego that covers up their insecurities, and a best friend who may or may not be gay.
Oh, I hope it's not a daddy. Daddy's freaking me out!
Although Garbage is significantly more incompetent than Mamo is physically. Maybe it's because cats rule and dogs drool. Okay, so here's the plan. The good characters leave the embark to check out that planet, while the bad characters stay on the embark and use holographic technology that works well but not too well to hide the fact that they have left. Well, it certainly is a plan, and everyone is apparently onto this plan, including Stella, who has the most brains out of the group. Why is that?
Well, if it's a choice between feeling guilty about disobeying orders or feeling guilty about your certain death without me, yeah.
You're a good friend, Stella.
I love this scene. It's a small one, but it just shows you how much Stella cares for her crew, despite how stupid they may be. It's wholesome. Okay, so they have finally made it to the planet, but something is off about it. Like, really off about it. Despite it being in plain sight, the planet does not show up on the Pluto's radar. Which was something that was revealed earlier in the episode, but now when they get closer, it starts to disrupt their communication with the Embark. But that's not the weirdest part. For when they land, they receive a mysterious message that's from another dog?
This is Exploratory Captain Kira. Attempt 38 to contact Earth. I have yet to receive any return messages. I'm beginning to wonder if you're looking for me at all.
Who is she? We haven't seen anyone like her on the Embark. Yet she knows about the Embark and Pratt. Who is she? How does she know all this? How did she even land here? Oh yeah! Speaking of Pratt...
It's a Pratt shuttle.
I told you it was going to be important! But don't worry, since nobody came for this sweet little puppy, she's probably dead by now. Wait, Garbage, what are you doing?
I am the trap!
No! Garbage, you're going to trigger it! Ah, great, now look at what you've done, Garbage. The crew got... juiced. Oh crap. She's not dead. And this is where the episode ends.
How have you survived this long?
We have no idea.
Okay, I was already sold on the show when I found out that this adorable thing was going to be voiced by Kimiko Glenn, the same voice behind Horse from Santa World, and Best Gal Penny Parker from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. But imagine how many balls I dropped when I found out that this mysterious new character, who I had absolutely no idea was going to be in the show in the first place, was voiced by Deborah Wilson. Who's Deborah Wilson? Who's Deborah Wilson? Oh, she's nothing special. She's only the woman who voices multiple characters from Mau Mau, Heroes of Pure Heart, my favorite show on planet Earth. She voices Remorath.
He's right, you know. I was about to...
Camille.
Oh, well, it's too bad we don't have a weird magic thing to make you big.
Muffins.
I made you a pie.
Scratch. Or at least I think that's her name.
Soups with the scoop on what's the haps in Pure Heart Valley. Investigative reporter Clark Lockjaw's on the scene of the ginormo monster fight. Clark, what's it look like out there?
And, a muscle horse?
It's known that the Torbaclon likes to sneak gems all around its tree, waiting to be discovered.
Huh. And do you want to know the absolutely insane part? She is the best written character on the show. But I'm getting ahead of myself, so... pretend I never said that. Okay, new character, what is she like?
Are you real? No, of course you're not. No one's coming to rescue me. I'm just having that dream again.
Good impression. So it's not until she touches Garbage's nose until she realizes that she is, in fact, not hallucinating, and there are other dogs on this planet, which she gets really happy about. And I mean really happy. I mean, just look at those happy roly-polies. We then reveal that her first turned purple due to mutation before, oh crap, the plants are attacking! Ah! All attack, all attack! Can dogs speak gay? This new dog, who I forgot to mention is named Kira by the way, then explains that those sneaky little vines were the work of the Emulix. Refuses to elaborate any further and then invites the crew onto her crib, where Kamiko Dog references Schaeferless's favorite movie.
Ooh, shiny!
Tamatoa, baby!
And then we get a picture of... oh, what is that? Doing in a kid show?
Should we be worried about this?
Probably best not to worry about it, Stella. I mean, this is a kid show about dogs going to space. What kind of sick person would put heavy subject matter in a kid show like that? Moving on from that, the crew's looking around the ship Kira has called home for as long as she has been stranded here. When she then says...
I can't believe they finally sent a rescue party. You know, it's funny. I started to think maybe the humans had just left me out here to...
To what? To what?
Nomi, I love you, but I don't think this is the appropriate time. And that is when the mood shifts completely. The crew tell her that they did not know that she existed when deciding to land on this planet. And judging by the range of emotion Kira goes through listening to them, you can tell that she takes it very well. And that is when Kira does a complete 180 from, oh boy, I can't wait to go home to see my owner who I haven't seen for ages, to... you know what? I think I'm gonna stay here. Because Kira has been waiting for a long time. Like, a really long time. Like, that message the crew received when they first landed here was nearly a decade old long.
Ghost planet.
Kira has been stranded here, waiting for someone to help her for that long. Do you wonder why she thought she was hallucinating when she first saw the crew land in her trap? She had to learn to fend for herself. It was her only option. It was clear that absolutely no one was coming to her aid anytime soon. She had to rely on herself so she wouldn't become thinner. The only thing she thought came to help her weren't here for her. They were trying to help the humans who abandoned her.
You wouldn't just leave me out in space, right? Man's best friend? Of course you're trying to find me.
She has completely lost her trust in humanity and anyone loyal to them, including other dogs. This is the kind of dog the crew's dealing with here. A dog who was abandoned by humanity and went so insane from the loneliness that she decided to be loyal to herself and herself alone. No humans, nor anyone loyal to them. She is that far gone. And then Kira gets herself some alien lunch.
She's like a living action figure.
Can we all just appreciate how adorable Nomi is? Look at her! She even has the same gremlin energy that Adorabat has. It's wholesome. Anyways, I suggest that we draw more ship art of her and Kira together. Here's what I did. Look at it! Look at it. So as you can guess from that previous rant I did, Kira isn't planning on going back to the Embark anytime soon. She just wants to stay in her pod and eat disgusting alien bear guts she gets herself. So how does the crew convince her to come with them? Why? Logically, with artisanal pastries and soap.
We've got soap, food, soap, medkits, soap. You said soap a lot. Did I?
Well, she doesn't agree to go to the Embark. She does agree to visit the Pluto for some supplies. But not before destroying all of Kamiko Dog's hopes and dreams!
Seems to be the only way I'll get you out of my fur.
How dare you!
I wonder how Ed and Loaf are going.
I can do anything.
I'm never doing this again. Now the crew are taking Kira to the ship while Garbage is still acting like an idiot. They arrive to the... Where did the Pluto go? Guys, where did the Pluto go? Well, it's because I forgot to mention something. When the crew are leaving the ship, this happens. So yeah, which means that those pesky amulets will get it. So now the entire crew must save it before it gets digested by plants. To the rescue we go.
I work alone.
Shut up, Batman! Okay, so welcome to basement, and there's our ship. But be careful, these emulets are a shifty bunch. They have the ability to change their bodies to any substance of what they have last eaten. Pretty cool ability, by the way. But who cares? Let's take a closer look at the ship.
How do you bite so well?
I sharpen my teeth before bed, don't you?
Well, now I will.
She has a crush on her and you cannot convince me otherwise. Oh crap, I said that too loud. The amulet is here and he has come for our magic balls. Speaking of which, how the heck did Kira get an entire ball of active lava? Wouldn't it have cooled down by now? Hey, how did she even get lava in the middle of a jungle planet? And if she did, how did she keep her hands from burning off? Gloves? Lava-resistant gloves? That would actually explain a lot. But that does not explain how it's not cooled down by now!
I have a question. For God.
Kira!
The amulet then turns into lava from eating another one? She not only has one, but 2 balls of active lava. How the heck does she do? Magic balls aside, I love this action scene. It's exciting, fast-paced, and the animation is beautifully fluid, so yes, this show's animation is on the same level as Mau Mau, Heroes of Pure Heart. I especially like the shot where Garbage and Stella slide down the hill Deltarune style and shoot at the beast, and the shot where Kamiko Dog helps her injured girlfriend to the Pluto while shooting the amulet and avoiding its sticky lava legs. It's a great sequence. The lava amulet then hits Garbage, where, just like in Mau Mau Season 1 Episode 17 Small, reveals a dastardly twist. That Garbage has been carrying baked goods this entire time instead of weapons. Yep, what a good captain you have there, Stella. But it does give Garbage an idea for a plan, and then Garbage puts his plan into action, where we get one of the best jokes out of the entire series so far. Now that, my friends, is a golden joke. You know what else is a joke? That time I said, I'm never doing this again. Because, haha, look! We are doing this again! Take that, losers!
Faster! Who am I?
A big asshole, that's who. Happy finds out that Ed is actually cosplaying as garbage so that he can get off the embark for space adventuring and contacts the council about this, which can only mean one thing, garbage. When you get back to the embark, prepare yourself because the council will decide your fate.
This is worse than my worst case scenario.
Garbage and crew have finally defeated the monster and are on their way to drop Kira off to her hut. But oh no! Her arm was injured during battle after... That happened! And the only way they can heal her up quickly is medical equipment from the embark. But oh yeah! She doesn't want to go to the embark because... Wait a second. This requires a more serious tone. Oi! Sweet cap and cakes! Give us some more serious music! Right on, ya toaster! Thank you, sweet cap and cakes. Now what was I up to? Oh yeah! Because essentially, the embark betrayed her. She has waited for years for someone to rescue her. Years of staying in a pod, eating bear guts, and hallucinating other dogs for help that never came. Well, officially, she had lost her trust in humans years ago and she is not going back on that leash. But she needs help. Not from humans, but dogs.
Kira, I get why you don't trust humans, but I'm not asking you to trust them. I'm asking you to trust dogs.
Kira has been alone for so long that she has forgotten to rely on others. She had to rely on herself to survive and was essentially Felicia from the Star Wars series, but 5 times more deadly. So she has become hardened by her experiences alone on that planet, and unwilling to have any help from humans or anyone affiliated with them. Like the crew have just picked her up to heal her arm. But she needs to do something that she has not done for a long time. She needs to trust someone.
I know you haven't had someone watch your tail for a long time, but dogs look out for each other.
Those kinds of words were words that Kira has mostly forgotten due to all the trauma she endured all alone on that planet, and learning to rely on herself than others. She needed to focus on herself in order to hold on to hope that maybe they haven't forgotten about her. But they did, and all of her worst fears were confirmed. But now, the only way she can get back up quickly is to get help from other members of her species. Besides, dogs look out for each other, right? And with a little push from a friend,
Please?
she decides...
Well, I suppose I could stock up on those pastries while I'm there.
Yes.
She loosens up and decides, yeah, it wouldn't hurt to have a little help from these guys. Not like they would betray me. While from some dogs' perspective, like the council and... Happy... would think that accepting a dog who thinks negatively on humanity would be a bad idea. And they'd be kind of right. But these dogs have gotten to know her a bit more and know that she's just a dog, like them. Their ideology and beliefs should not mean that we exclude them as outsiders. And that is something I think more people this day and age should learn. This is a show about dogs going to space, and it already has some powerful commentary about the day and age we live in. 2 episodes in. That's a sign that the show you're watching is really something special. And now, we must sneak our way through the embark so we can get Kira's medical equipment. Oh, heck! Happy is here, and he brought the Duchess with him, a member of the council! Well, good luck, Garbage! The council's going to decide your fate now! So Garbage is taken to the council where he explains what he did. The council is just about to decide his fate when suddenly...
Captain Garbage is a hero!
Kira bursts straight into the room and tells the council that she, helpless and alone, was saved by Garbage and his crew from certain death. She said all this despite not being helpless, nor wanting to be saved. Then why the heck did she say all that?
Dogs look out for each other, right?
It resonated with her that well. That is amazing. And with that, Kira is officially a new member of the Embark. But unfortunately, they still have to punish Garbage for disobeying orders. So, as punishment, they're sending Garbage to...
Penelope.
A dog trainer who is also a dog, so Garbage is going to have a good old time. You know what? I think I finally know how Kira got those active lava balls. She got them from this guy.
Would you like some lava? I can have some put in a little bag for you. Take it away.
Clearly, relaxing is not your thing.
Yeah, hard to relax around plants where I come from.
So while Garbage with Penelope, the dog trainer dog, Nomi and crew give Kira a tour around the Embark.
Come on, Kira. You're the dog who survived years on a hostile planet and stared death in the face so many times that even death was like, stop staring at me. So you can definitely handle brunch.
We're having brunch, are we? Well, I sure hope that it's a Sunday! They take Kira to the Real Dog's Diner where they have...
hamburger.
Except that they don't get a hamburger because Kira doesn't have any sense of self-control and couldn't stop drinking out of the cup like a four-legged dog would and got photographed on. Oh, Kira.
They have crab cakes, knishes, BLTs.
BLTs? We have those on my planet. Bloody leftover tails, right?
Kira. Bloody leftover tales of who? Kira? Kira? We then cut back to Garbage with her dog trainer dog, Penelope Von Sweet, who has 3 key qualities to being a great leader, with them being insight, strategy, and focus. She is a world-class dog competition winner who has won plenty of dog show trophies, so she certainly knows what she is doing. Too bad Garbage doesn't, because he manages to fail the first 3 scenarios Penelope gave out to her, including the baking one.
You're on a TV baking show. How did that one end in an explosion?
Flour is surprisingly flammable.
Kira and friends then move on to the arcade where they're greeted with holographic Rock'em Sock'em Robots, Physically Impossible Dance Dance Revolution, and Space Pirate Trainer, the last one they decide on. Meanwhile, Garbage, having failed a lot of these scenarios, now must be put through Scenario
0.
Which is a dog show because Dog Trainer Dog is very experienced in that field. Very experienced.
Don't get distracted by the food.
What food? Those boos are really hurtful.
Do not let this puppy on r/movie circle jerks.
Die, alien scum!
After an intense game of shooting aliens and headshotting other dogs with fake ray guns, they win, but...
You have done it! You have saved the people of Earth! Good dog!
Let's go again!
This scene really stands out to me, in a good way. Sure, Kira did say that she was going to look out for her fellow dog, but she didn't say that she agreed with the cause that the dogs were fighting for. So when she is greeted with this screen, it would make sense that she despised the sight of humankind, a species she resents, congratulating a dog that looks just like her from saving them from the aliens. The look on her face really sells everything she's feeling in the moment. The resentment, the discomfort, everything, and it gets more chaotic from there. The neon colors and noise of the arcade overwhelm her as the phrase, "good dog," keeps repeating in her head, taunting her. It seriously feels like something out of Arcane. Which might be a stretch, I don't know. She's then snapped out of her daze by Stella, who honestly would also make great girlfriend material for Kira. Sure, Nomi's crush on Kira is cute and all, but Stella looks out for Kira, snapping her out of her daze and recommending that they go somewhere more quieter. It seriously makes Nomi look like a simp! But anyways, how's Garbage doing? Yeah, that summed everything up.
What do you want from me? I'm literally jumping through hoops for you people!
Humanity is why your species was chosen for this crucial mission.
Hey, Kira, are you coming?
Rewatching this scene, knowing what's actually going on, it stabs me. Kira and Stella then enter into the spa, where Loaf is relaxing. And then Kira thinks that he's being attacked by
some kind of a Canthoscoria geniculata.
whatever that is, and devolves the entire spa into chaos. Good job, Kira!
Now I'm never gonna be allowed back here, am I?
She then bumps into Ed, who is for some reason hiding behind a plant. I have no idea where that might be. And he takes her to the playground. Welcome to the playground, follow me. Which she also devolves into chaos, causing her to hurt her arm some more. Oh, Kira, it's almost like she doesn't fit in anywhere.
Let's get you to sick bay.
So Garbage has finally finished his dog training, and Penelope is calculating his results. And they're terrible. Guess the name still sticks, huh? So now Garbage is now confined to the Embark until further notice. Oh boy, you're really in the dumps now, aren't you, Garbage? Tony then takes Kira to the sick bay, where we are introduced to the Genetic Enhancement Pod, or the JEP for short. Gep? JEP? Geep? A pod that can fix genetic imperfections, like this dog whose arm turns into an octopus tentacle.
I am in a huge amount of pain.
Shoni suggests that Kira hops into the pod so she can catch up to speed with the rest of the dogs on the Embark, but...
Oh, so I can only fit in here if I change my DNA, is that it?
Kira, have you looked at yourself in the mirror? Your fur is purple and you don't have any opposable thumbs. Do you think you could still go on missions if you look like that? No! We need to fix you so that... Wait a second, I just realized how messed up that sounds. Okay, Kira, you have a right to be angry. Express yourself while you still have a voice. Oh crap, the other dog is still in there. What the heck is going to happen to him? He turns into an eldritch abomination, which will devour everything in its path, including Choni and Kira. Good thing Garbage has walked casually to the rescue. This is where we get an epic battle between Garbage and Luke, Devourer of Worlds. Oh yeah, the dog's name was Luke, not important. Where Garbage subconsciously uses the skills that he learned from Penelope, including Focus, to focus on taking down Luke, Insight, to help Kira get herself together to help him take down Luke, and Strategy, to lure him into the GAP to turn him back to normal. This is some neat character development. While I'm not a big fan of the character, I mean, his name is Garbage, what do you expect? But it does help him get himself off his high horse from being harassed by the wonderful Wizard of Oz. And at last, Luke is no longer the Devourer of Worlds, but instead, a dog. So now we get to...
Garbage!
Okay, so apparently Dog Trainer Dog was watching the entire thing through her cameras. I am not sure if that's creepy or not. Where she saw Garbage use the 3 key qualities to being a great leader: Insight, Strategy, and Focus. Which means that Garbage is now free from the leash to go about on his missions. Oh yeah, she also says this.
You and Kira clearly bring out the best in each other. I'm impressed.
It's a cute line that shows you how well these two puppers did in battle. It's great. I sure hope that it doesn't foreshadow unfortunate events. Penelope also suggests that Kira joins the crew of the Pluto, but she rejects it, saying that she still doesn't feel at home on the Embark. All the noise, the more civilized dog nature, it all feels foreign to her as someone who spent a lot of years alone on that mysterious planet, which might have caused her to go slightly insane. She did say that she was going to stay until her arm was healed up, and after that, she would return to her space shuttle hut, back to her old life. Sure, she would go back to going insane while eating alien insides.
You ripped out all my parts.
But it's the only place where Kira can feel like she can actually call home. That is until Garbage comes up with a brilliant idea. We cut to what is presumably the Pluto, probably after a couple days, a week since Garbage came up with that brilliant idea. The crew of the Pluto has something to show Kira on the Pluto.
It's my home.
They made a room for Kira that recreates the feeling of her old home, from the hammock near her top bunk containing her supplies, to the bottom bunk containing weird vegetable plants. While it's not a lot, it is enough for Kira to be reminded of home. The look on her face when she sees all the hard work that her new friends put into to make her feel at home is just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. She agrees to stay on the embark for a little bit longer, and with everything wrapped up nice and tidy, they all bring it in for a nice big group hug. Oh, never mind.
She'll come around.
I hope so too, Garbage. I hope so too.
I am in a huge amount of pain.
Those episodes were great. They had fun and exciting action sequences, touch on some heavy subject matter regarding climate change and being transformed into a horrifying alien by accident, and some great characters. My favorite being Nomi. I mean, look at her. How could you not love her? But the standout one being Kira, due to how interesting her character is, despite being a character in a show called Dogs in Space. Who could have thought? She was one of the first set of dogs to be sent by Pratt to look for a new home for humanity, but she ends up crash landing on a mysterious planet and ends up stranded there for nearly a dog decade before Garbage and his crew find her, and has gone kind of insane due to all the years of isolation, leading to issues with trusting others and abandonment. That is some arcane level crap right there. And this leads me to another big reason why I'm making this video. This series is heavily overshadowed by another Netflix series that came out the same month and is probably more superior than Dogs in Space, Arcane. I have watched this series and it is without a doubt a masterpiece. The characters, the art style, the world building, everything about it is a masterpiece. I even plan on making a video on this series later down the line. But there is an unfortunate downside for this show being so great. And that downside is that this show heavily overshadows Dogs in Space. Don't get me wrong, Arcane is fantastic and deserves all the recognition that it has, but there is still some really great stuff in Dogs in Space as well. Whether it's the show's commentary on climate change, or Kira, who is honestly one of the most interesting characters I've ever seen in a cartoon since Mau Mau. Though I get why it happened, with Arcane being based on a highly popular video game with millions of players around the world. And when you compare an animated adventure comedy series about these dogs having fun and exciting adventures around the universe, looking for a new home for humanity, to a complex drama about two sisters torn apart by personal tragedy, politics, and other forces out of their control as they drift further away from the people that they used to be. So that would be a more enthralling experience as it doesn't pull any punches. That is despite the fact that Dogs in Space doesn't pull any punches either. It's kind of sad how small the show's fan base is. The show doesn't deserve a fan base that is somehow even smaller than Mau Mau and Centaur World's fan bases. I will not stand for it. This show deserves more recognition for the stuff that it has. We will not stand for the endless propaganda of these Arcane fans. For we must rise and spread the word of how good Dogs in Space is. Rise, my Dogs in Space brethren! It would also be good for those stricken by depression by the Arcane season finale. And with that, let us continue our view of Dogs in Space.
My name is Gooey! It's Gooey!
So it's a new day on the Embark, and Garbage and crew are preparing for the Pluto's next mission. But unlike any mission he and his crew have done before, Kira will be joining alongside them. Coolio!
Where's Ed? Did he fall asleep in the hydrant?
No, Garbage! Ed was actually sleeping in the mystical land of Naluklidia. No, but seriously, how did he do that?
Hi, Loaf. It's me. You, if you're listening to this, you're still alive, despite what that fortune cookie said. You're such a good boy.
Honestly, the best line Loaf has ever said in the series so far. Garbage then accidentally breaks Loaf's iPad.
Oh, sorry. You should go get that protocol.
Good job, Garbage. So Loaf goes to look for another one. This is where we get a side plot set up, where Loaf has been mistaken for a tour guide, and not gonna lie, when I first watched this episode, I was a bit salty to it. I mean, Loaf was my favorite character, so I was kind of beefed to see that he'd be getting secondary focus in this great episode. But that was the old me. Rewatching this episode made me realize how entertaining and funny the subplot is. Plus it's important for later on in the episode, so keep that in mind. So Garbage calls his owner up to catch her up to speed onto the latest, like rescuing Kira and going on yet another mission. But little does Garbage know is that Kira is actually eavesdropping on him, which is how she finds out that Garbage updates his owner on what he and his crew have been doing. Great! I wonder how she'll use that information later. So Garbage and crew finally made it to the new planet, and it looks like Centaur World. It appears that this planet is finally habitable for all of Earth's creatures, which means that the dog's mission is finally over and they can retire from space exploration. But here's the thing. Not everyone is happy about that.
Does that mean no more exploring?
Whoa, don't mind me. I'm just being an insensitive weirdo. Why the long face, Nomi? This blur cannot be that bad. Okay, so this riddle kind of came out of left field, but to be honest, it's really funny. Oh look, a planet that's finally habitable for humankind. Too bad the air smells as bad as the toxic waste that is Centaur World Season 2. The fact that a dog's sense of smell is 40 times greater than the average human makes this scene even funnier to me. And so the dogs need to find a way to block out the smell from their nostrils, and the best thing that the crew could come up with are air fresheners that don't work at all. Blame Shoney's, he's the one that came up with the idea.
You sit here and press this button to talk to the Pluto. Easiest job on the Embark. Unlike piloting a ship where pressing even one wrong button can lead to everyone's fiery deaths.
Hey, you know what? I think I hate you now. You are the reason why Loaf has anxiety problems. I think I just have the solution for you. You see this? And so the crew set out to look for the source of the bad smell, but it seems to be coming from everywhere. And I say seems to be because it's actually coming from this giant slime alien with one singular eye.
Talking things?
No, wait, it's 2 eyes now. So this little fella has been on this planet ever since it came into existence. And since he is the only inhabitant, he is very lonely. So lonely they made a rock into his friend. Though despite the fact that this planet is the only thing the slime ball has ever known, he also somehow knows where a table and chair is.
Table for two, please.
Cartoon logic, am I right? They named this wonderful specimen Gooey, and they explain everything to him. From the existence of humanity, to the mission to find a new planet before they go extinct. They even mention the fact that he's...
You stink, you stink, you stink, you stink, you smell so bad!
I'm sorry! I'm sorry!
He is justifiably upset about this, especially with the fact that he's worried that the dogs won't find a new home in time. Where he then says that he wishes to explore the great unknown of the galaxy. This gives Garbage an idea. What if he gave Gooey the Pluto so he can live out his dreams of Mario Galaxying throughout the universe? After much debate, they agreed to give it to him. But he's too big! He won't fit! That's okay, cause he can do this! So that's cool, but who's going to pilot the ship?
Team? I'm leaving with Gooey.
What?
If you remember from earlier, Nomi wasn't too happy with no more space exploration, so she wants to adventure with Gooey, so she could be free from the control of others. No house, no owner, no rules, just freedom. She seriously reminds me of Adorabat in characterization. Just without the trauma! That might age badly if something happens to Nomi or is revealed about her in season 2 or a later season, but that's incredibly unlikely. But that would mean that she would have to leave behind her crew, who already feel at home on the new planet, but she did say that she would come visit from time to time. The crew accept her choices and say their goodbyes. This is the moment where I realize how much this show reminds me of Mama Heroes of Your Heart, the reason I started this channel. It just gives off those same good old heartwarming feelings that show gave me, and it's a big reason why I love this show so much. After the crew say their goodbyes, Garbage gives Nomi one last order, to message Loaf that they have finally found home, and then she leaves. And now, a speech from Garbage.
Friends, we did it. We triumphed where all others failed.
What's going on?
Our own saving.
Oh heck! Oh heck!
Yeah, and danger is about
oh heck! Yeah, so apparently, Gooey's moisture was the only thing that was keeping the planet alive. And now that he has left the planet, it will now shrivel up and turn to a cracked ground desert. Good thing that Ed has gathered some of Gooey's moisture for his greedy purposes. So now they must keep the dry away and send out a stress signal, which is instantly recognized by Loaf, who is being attacked by a giant space alien. Don't ask. Now Loaf must step up to become a true captain to save his crew from immediate danger.
Well, GG, your wish just came true. The real captain has arrived. It's me.
Gross. With the crew now finally out of gooey juice, they prepare themselves for the sweet release of death that is about to hit them. The crew, sans Nomi, embrace with each other before... The rescue team is here! Yes! Who shall deliver us?
Loaf?
It is him. He shall deliver us. Cut back to the Pluto and Nomi is sending out the coordinates of their new planet to Loaf. Not like he's doing anything exciting. And then... doubt comes into Nomi. She worries that she made bad judgment and she's missing out on something. She opens up to Gooey about this and he says that he doesn't think that anyone could hold her back from living her own life, which is something surprisingly nuanced for a giant being made out of smelly goo to say. Even Nomi acknowledges this.
You know, for someone who's only ever spoken to echoes, you're very intuitive.
And so, Nomi decides to return to the planet that her crew and the rest of dogkind are now living on. Ah! They're all dead now! What happened?
Hey, Nomi, on your left.
Oh, nope, never mind. They're right here. But now they must say goodbye to Gooey, even if that means that he must return to where he least desires to be. Which makes Nomi feel torn because there is no way left for Gooey to explore the deep depths of the galaxy. Oh, wait! What about this thing? Yipple doodle-dee, he is off. I hope we'll see him again in season 2.
Worst tour ever.
Well, you're very salty. So yeah, I think Who's a Good Boy was a great episode. Sure, there were no dramatic plot twists or meaningful character growth, but it was very funny. Especially the dogs stretching up due to the bad smell of the planet, and the loaf is mistaken for a tour guide subplot. I did not expect the loaf subplot of all things to be so notable. How is this episode so good? I also like the new character they introduced in this episode, Gooey. He's funny, he's kind of cute, and best of all, he's very intuitive. Hi, I'm Toby. You're watching the Disney Channel.
Tactical nuke incoming!
You also wish to explore the deep depths of the galaxy, meet new people, see new sights, be more than some weird goo alien on this empty planet with nothing more than a rock to be friends with. It's nice and it mirrors Nomi's desire for exploration and being more than some pet to some human, and oh yeah, Nomi gets a lot of focus on this episode, which is honestly the best part of this episode. I mean, come on, she's basically Adorabat if she was voiced by Kamiko Glenn. That is enough reasons to love her. So anyways, that was a great episode. I sure hope the next episode is just as good.
He bravely said, "Let's run away from them right now!" Can you scratch my nose, please?
This episode surprised me. Just like the last episode, I didn't remember much that I liked about it, but after rewatch, I found a lot more things to be funnier. This episode opens with in medias res, with the reveal that the crew, except Stella, has been turned into puppies for some unknown reason. And then we get a puppy rendition of the Dogs in Space theme. Okay, I mean, it's a good intro, I like it, but it just feels like that they're shoving this into your face saying, "Oh, look at how cute these puppies are! Look at them! Look at them! Look at them! Look at the puppies!" And if you consider how much tamer the rest of the episode is, it just feels out of place. Either that or I'm feeling salty. So after that, we go back to the last 24 hours, before the crew became puppies. Garbage has found a new plant and the water is made out of bugs. Oh dear.
Water's bugs.
Since the past few plants have been marked unsuitable, and this plant looks no different, Garbage decides to revive their wilting morale by doing what humans would do. And that thing is...
colonize this place and say that we discovered it?
No, but very interesting political opinion. They're taking a day off. Good idea! If it weren't for the fact that Stella has a performance review coming up, which will show the council if she's captain material or not. So she wants to stay in the Pluto. So Garbage decides to let her stay while the rest of the crew take a deck. Kira! Stop drinking the bloody bugs!
What? I'm thirsty.
Does this face look like I'm joking to you? And so Stella starts practicing for a performance review by practicing her sword skills, reciting the words Penelope used for garbage, and talking to inanimate objects. Ah, finally, the timer is up, so let's get out here and see if the crew is... Wait. Where is the crew?
Computer locate the crew?
All crew on board. Location, laundry room.
In the laundry? Why? Okay, so let's just go over there and see what's going... What the heck was that? Stella, be careful. You don't want to alert whoever it is that is in there. Stella? Stella! Oh. Never mind. It's nothing harmful. The crew is just a bunch of sleeping puppies.
What?
Yep. The crew just appeared on the Pluto with no warning for Stella and decides to take a little nap in the laundry room basket. And oh yeah, they are puppies now. And what does Stella do with this new information? Pet them, of course. Stella, you might have unlocked a hidden evil that you are not ready for. I hope that you survive, but I highly doubt it. Goodbye.
What happened?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Stella. So, the others were out in town and trying some free samples, but one of them was not a free sample, but an actual baby. Which causes an angry mob to form around them. They run away, like all brave leaders do, and hide, where they encounter this guy who looks like he jumped straight out of the Dark Crystal series. He helps the crew hide by giving them a strange potion which turns them into babies. They successfully escape and make it back to the Pluto. End of story. Alright, now to find a way to return them back to Nope, too late. The children are already on an adventure. Oh dear. And then... chaos. The puppies are jumping from high places, rerouting electronics, and almost destroying the entire ship by pressing a single red button. And then Love calls Stella, and this is where we were first minute in the episode. And from here on out, we have a new game plan. Get to the embark, use the jet to turn the crew back to normal, go to the performance review. Okay, sounds easy. If only the children could stay still. This episode is extremely funny, with Stella trying to keep the crew who have turned into chaotic children from killing someone. or worse, blowing up the entire ship to smithereens. I also want to highlight Stella's voice actor, Sarah Chalk, who you might recognize as the voice of Beth Smith from Rick and Morty, a show I'm not allowed to watch because I'm too young. She's really what elevates this episode from average but very cute to comedy gold. Wow, look at all that debris. It looks so beauty. Wait, are those Embark shuttles? Those are Embark shuttles! They are Embark shuttles! These ships were not empty. They had dogs inside them. Dogs that are probably dead. What the heck? These dogs had their ships torn to shreds, or either murdered or died due to lack of air in space. And this is the cutest / funniest episode in a show called Dogs in Space, and it's for kids. What is the Embark hiding? What is Sprouts hiding? What happened here? Oh, I think we found our answer, people. It was probably these alien birds who stole their noises from the land before time. And of course they start to attack the ship. Why do you ask? But I zip up those kiddos tight so they don't get hurt, which then leads to an epic battle between Stella and the space pterodactyls.
Okay, protocol for first encounter with an alien species is to de-escalate potential conflict.
Because yes, of course these bird-like creatures would listen to you. Despite being literal space pterodactyls, they're tearing up the ship to shreds! Do you want to end up like your dog brothers and sisters, Stella? Oh, nice battle choreography. This is a major improvement. Thank you, Stella. Oh crap, the puppies have been freed and the space pterodactyls, Stella's calling them space vultures, but no, those are space pterodactyls. Changed my mind. Are still attacking the ship, and Stella has no idea what to do until she remembers something about daycare. And then she suddenly gets herself together and gets help from the puppy crew by putting them in their respective roles if they were adults. Garbage being captain, Nomi driving the ship, Choni's filling up the gas chambers, and Ed and Kira do their own thing, I guess. This would be a cute Stella x Kira moment if Kira was still not a child. And the entire gang take out those mean old space pterodactyls in puppy style, and use the big red turbo button, oh yeah, the red button is a turbo button, to return to the Embark safely. Good job, Stella! You're one of the few to survive your encounter!
I hope this works. That wasn't a joke.
No, I'm laughing because I missed my review, and I wrecked the ship and probably also my career.
I love how despite being the most level-headed character of the crew, she's even funnier than characters that are supposed to be comic relief, like Ed or Loaf. She's so funny that I might even consider watching Rick and Morty. Though external sources would say otherwise. Oh look, the Duchess is here. And despite missing the time that she was supposed to be here, they're doing the performance review now. Lucky you, Stella.
I got thumbs now?
Yes, Kira, you do have thumbs now. Get used to it. Stella then explains to the Duchess that her crew turned into puppies, and getting them back into line is what made her late. And what does the Duchess do after learning about this information? She congratulates her. She recognizes that Stella used her skills and abilities to get both the ship and the crew back to safety, and in doing so, she has shown that she could be a capable leader one day, which means that she has passed the performance review. Congratulations, Stella, you're going to be a captain someday. She goes back to the crew, who congratulate her, even though that she hasn't even said the result. That is because while Stella was trying to save everyone, they were aware of it the entire time, which they don't explain the specifics with.
Sorry about all the mess we made on the ship, including the mess you probably haven't discovered yet.
What? After the crew shows Stella a card that they definitely made as puppies, they have a toast and celebrate Stella's bright future ahead of her. When I first watched this episode, I remember being annoyed by the "Oh, aren't these puppies cute? Look at them!" shtick that the episode was playing by, and I found it kind of in your face, especially the intro. I kind of hated it. But after rewatching this episode, I realized how great this episode was. There is a lot about this episode that is great. First off, Stella. This episode focuses a lot on her, much like how the last episode focuses a lot on Nomi. It showcases her anxieties of wanting to become a captain and how much she trains for the role, despite the only thing that she needs to do is do what is right for her crew. That and she is incredibly funny. Watching her try to keep these chaotic puppets in line is almost as funny as the Mitchells versus the Machines.
I signed us up for a 7-hour mule tour.
Dad, doesn't that sound steep and dangerous?
Katie, what could go wrong? Get to the bridge if you want to live!
Speaking of puppies, rewatching this episode made me realize how not annoying the puppies were. They were just cute. And that is A-okay in my book. Overall, this episode is up to date to the normal standards that this show has. It is incredibly funny and absolutely adorable. Except for the part that implies dog murder. I have at least given a couple of people nightmares now that I have highlighted that. But don't worry, you wonderful person. Since this episode is the midpoint of the series, it can only get darker from here. Alright, 5th episode done, so let me just put this in here and oh come on, you gotta be kidding me! Yeah, so unlike what I said at the beginning of the video, oh well, hopefully not making this video an hour long. This video is an hour long. I'm so sorry I failed you. This is mostly due to my lack of foresight and experience, but don't worry, I'll make up for it by splitting this video into 2 parts. But with all that aside, I cannot wait to get into the second half of the season, which is incredible to say the least, but I'll save that for later. Right now, I've got 2 shows to talk about on this little channel of mine. One of them due to the grim circumstances that the show is currently in, and the other out of pure boredom. I'm only scraping the surface of why I love this show, so I hope you come by the next time I talk about the show about dogs going to space. Oh, and one more thing, since I'll probably be getting comments about this, yes, I have watched season 2. Is it good? I'm not going to answer that question. I'm just going to leave you hanging in the Schrödinger-esque limbo of whether Dogs in Space Season 2 is good or bad until I get to talking about Dogs in Space Season 2. Later everyone, I'm gonna sing Christmas songs while floating in the void of space. See ya! Oh Christmas tree, how lovely are thy branches. Oh Christmas tree, how lovely are thy branches. Skate!